So this is part 18 of why the fuck did I stay? So, mind you, we gets back home and, you know what I'm saying, we just kind of like decided, like, you know what I'm saying, like, the fighting, like, we just need to stop the fighting. Like, it's just best, like, you just got shit going on, like, with your mental. Like, you need to get yourself together as far as mentally and financially, like, just everything. Like, you just need to get yourself together. And I was like, we just need to part ways and focus on ourselves at this point. So we had a decent conversation and he agreed. We both agreed. So, you know, he packed his stuff and he was like, you know, I'm going to go move back in with my baby mama. So I was like, okay, cool. So time is passing. You know, I'm still doing what I'm doing. At this time, I done auditioned for the Bad Boys Club. You know what I'm saying? So this was huge for me. So even though me and him is not together, like, we agreed that we would still keep in contact and still talk to each other and check on each other because I still want the best for him. You know what I'm saying? Even though we're not together. So I'm telling him, like, you know, I just auditioned for the Bad Boys Club. Like, this is dope. You know what I'm saying? Like, what's interesting in your life? Like, what you got going on? He was like, oh, I'm ready to go get me this car. You know, I done met this man. You know, he's ready to help me get this car. So I'm like, oh, for real? Like, this is big. So surely enough, the man helps him get a car. This is his first car ever. Like, mind you, this was a nice car. Like, and I'm just like, damn, like, it was kind of like a shot to me because I'm just like, you got this man behind you a car, like, and, you know, and I've never bought you a car, so, you know, I was supposed to be the one to get your car, but I couldn't feel no type of way because me and him is not together. So the car he ended up getting was a 2014 Audi A7, so he was the motherfucking shit. So, you know, he was just feeling himself, you know, he's telling me, he's riding around, he was like, yeah, plus I'm ready to get me, you know, my own place too, you know, he's ready to help me get my own place. I'm like, okay, that's cool. So one day, you know, he had hit me up and he was like, I was like, what you doing? He was like, I'm ready to chill with this bitch. You know what I'm saying? She's flying out of town to come see me. Like, you know what I'm saying? We're ready to get this Airbnb. We ready to chill. So I'm like, all right. Like, he's telling me about the girl. I'm like, who's the girl? So he's sent me the pictures of the chick. I'm like, she looked familiar. I was like, was that the girl, like, from the cruise? He was like, oh, yeah. He was like, yeah. I was like, so why is she coming, like, to fly? I'm just curious. I'm like, why is she flying all the way out here to see you? Like, you know what I'm saying? Just to fuck. He was like, shit, I was fucking on the cruise. So I'm like, bitch. In the back of my head, I'm like, bitch, I knew you was fucking on me in that motherfucking cruise. But mind you, you know what I'm saying? We still not together, so we just talking. So I can't get mad. So I was like, oh, okay. I'm like, okay, cool. I was like, so what y'all ready to get into? He was like, shit. He's like, I got this bitch wrapped around my finger. He was like, I done told this bitch that I'm a drug dealer. You know what I'm saying? She's believing every time she call. I'm like, hey, I'm on plays. You know what I'm saying? She just seemed to change. You know, he's telling me that, you know, this bitch think that he, you know, like, real pressure, like, out here, like, really moving weight. So she's coming, you know, trying to just come because she thinks she's ready to get on the come up because she's ready to fuck on this drug dealer. So, mind you, you know, she gets in town, you know what I'm saying? They don't went to Airbnb, they chilling or whatever the case be. So, I gets in contact with the baby mama, you know what I'm saying? Me and her was talking, you know, she was like, you know, have you talked to him? And I was like, no. She was like, do you know where he's at? Because he ain't answering the phone. I was like, he's at the Airbnb with, you know, the girl. And she was like, what? And I was like, you didn't know? Like, he's with the girl. So she's like, oh no, he got me fucked up. So I'm just like, what do you mean you got your fucked? So in the back of my mind, like, I'm just sitting back, I'm observing all this shit. I already know what the fuck is going on because if she's getting mad because he's over where the fuck he's at, that means they're fucking. So 2 and 2 together, he done came back over to baby mama's house trying to keep her in good grace so he can stay over there. So he's fucking her. And now she's like, oh no, you got me fucked up. So she was like, I'm ready to go to the motherfucking Airbnb and I'm ready to tell him he needs to motherfucking get home now. So I was like, oh, I'm glad I ain't in that motherfucking drama. So we get to the Airbnb. I'm just sitting back, you know, I'm here for the drama. I want to see what the fuck is out. So the baby mama done went up to the motherfucking Urban bitch. She's beating on the door like, come outside. Like, where are you at? Where are you at? Why are you not answering the phone? So he comes outside. He was like, bitch, what the fuck are you on? Like, bitch, you not my bitch. I'm not fucking you. Like, she was like, what the fuck? You got me fucked. You trying to front me because you got this bitch from out of town, blah, blah, blah. So he's like, hey, man, like, you, like, fuck you, bitch. So they arguing. I'm just sitting here like, wow, like, this is interesting. So I'm like, I'm glad I don't have to deal with this. I'm like, my days of dealing with this shit is over. So, you know, I'm in my back of my mind, I'm watching and I'm kind of laughing because I'm getting entertained at this point. So she was like, so I'm going to pack your shit. He was like, I don't give a fuck, bitch. So he went over her house and packed his shit. So I'm calling him. I'm like, damn, like, you done got kicked out by the baby mama too. Like, I'm like, what are you gonna do? You know what I'm saying? He was like, man, I ain't worried about that motherfucking shit. Like, I got too much shit going on. Like, God's blessing me. I'm good. So I'm like, okay, like, what's up? So he was telling me that the man that helped buy him the car is going to get him this apartment. So surely enough, you know, these are facts. He done got his stuff and he done moved into the apartment. So I'm like, okay, this is dope. I'm like, look, I'm proud of you. Like, at this point, like, alongside of you just being in your little whole phase, I guess, like, you doing whatever the fuck you doing, like, you're still standing on business and like, you doing what you got to do. And I'm like, I respect that. So he was like, yeah, like, I'm just clearing my mind. Like, I'm just trying to be different. He was like, I ain't really worried about trying to be in a relationship with nobody. Like, I'm just doing this for me. Like, I'm trying to just be the best person I can be. And I was like, you know, I respect that. I respect it. And I was like, I'm still gonna always be here for you, be your friend, and whatever the case be. And he was like, yeah, and I'm ready to go, you know, to the club later on. I was like, well, if you want me to come, I'll come. He was like, yeah, you can come. So we goes out to the club. Mind you, alongside of all the shit that we have going on, to the public eye, we are still this beautiful couple. We are still together. Like, we done just came back from this motherfucking cruise. We doing it the fuck up. I done been on TV. I'm Bad Boys Club. Like, people know, you know what I'm saying? Nobody knows that, you know, me and him are not together. So, you know what I'm saying? Everybody's like, oh my God. So this girl, she walks up and she's just gone off us, right? She's like, oh my gosh. Like, you know, I'm just looking at her. I'm just like, bitch, you're a fan. So, mind you, she's introducing herself. She was like that she's a stripper. So she's a pretty girl. And I'm looking at him and he's looking at her. I'm like, yeah, this is his whole motherfucking type of a woman. So I'm just like, but you know, they flirting and laughing and touching and all this. And I'm kind of like playing a blind eye because I'm like, yeah, like, saying I'm trying to save face, but at the end of the day, I'm like, I ain't really know what's going on. Like, we're really not together, so I don't really kind of like give a fuck, even though I do, but I'm like, I can't because we're not together. We already agreed in this shit, so I already know. So, you know, he was like, yeah, let me get your number. So he takes down her number or whatever the case be. So I'm like, okay. So he was like, I'm ready to drive back to my apartment, and I'm like, I'm ready to go home. And I was like, all right, I'll see you, love you. You know what I'm saying? And so I think like a couple days later, I hit him up, or, you know, and I'm telling him, I'm like, I got this photo shoot. I was like, I really want you to come out to support me. And he was like, yeah, like, you know, I'm always support you. He was like, of course, you know, I'm gonna be there. So I was like, okay, cool. So I'm at the photo shoot, and I'm calling. I'm like, where you at? He was like, listen, he's like, I know I'm late. I'm running late. He was like, I'm with my friend. He was like, we done already kind of like made plans. So, he was like, but I mean, if I can bring her too, like, it's cool. So I'm like, okay, cool. Mind you, the photo shoot that I'm doing this at this real nice hotel. Like, I wanted to do it the fuck up at this hotel. So I got this really nice room. So he done brought, you know, the friend up to the hotel. So he's introduced me to the friend. So we gets up there. The friend is the motherfucking stripper that we just met at the motherfucking club. So I'm like, oh, so y'all done got a real acquainted. I said, this is interesting. This is very motherfucking interesting. So she's just, at this point in the back of my mind, I'm like, I don't like this bitch. Just mind you. So let's go to the next part. So this is part 19 of why the fuck did I stay? So I left out a very important part between 17 and 18. I had promised him to get his teeth done, and I'd already made the arrangements to get them done. But the appointment was set after the cruise. So, you know, after the cruise, we had broke up. We wasn't together. You know, he was went to go stay back with the baby mama, but he did contact them people and went to that appointment and got his motherfucking teeth done. So, mind you, the teeth is sickening. I give him that. So back to the subject in hand. So, we're at the hotel, you know what I'm saying? I'm taking the motherfucking pictures. The theme of the photo shoot was like sexy. So I'm, on my best shit in my underwear, you know what I'm saying? I don't even did something new. So he's watching me do my thing. So he was like, let me take some pictures. I want to take some pictures. So he's telling the photographer, he was like, can I take some pictures, too? So the photographer was like, I don't care. But he's under the impression that he's going to pay for his portion of his photo shoot. So, he's taking some pictures and he was like, hey, come join me. He was like, let's do some together naked. He was like, because it would be dope, to get paid for my OnlyFans. So I was like, all right, like, I guess, like, it does make sense. Like, let's do it. So we're taking the pictures and so forth. So all this is all said and done. You know what I'm saying? So the photographer leaves. He wraps it up. And it's just me, him, and the girl. So the girl was like, she was ready to go to the store, and get some wine or whatever, and she was going to come back. So she leaves, and I'm talking to him. I'm like, what's up with you and this girl? I'm like, are you fucking this girl? Like, keep it real. He was like, no, but I really do want to fuck her. So I was like, oh, okay. Like, I appreciate you being honest, or whatever the case be. So mind you, me and him are both naked. So I'm just like, you trying to fuck? So he was like, yeah, like, I really do want to fuck, but he was like, I want to do something different. And I'm like, well, what is it that you want to do different? He was like, I really want to fuck this girl. He was like, and I want you to fuck her with me. So I'm just like, you know what I'm saying? Like, why? He was like, because I just feel like it'll make us closer. He was like, I feel like it'll solve all our problems. It'll make our relationship better. He was like, you know what I'm saying? You ain't even got to worry about me cheating if you participate with me. So I'm like, I guess, like, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, okay, this is what I want. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, well, call the bitch. So he calls her back, you know what I'm saying? So she's like, hey, I brought back the wine. So, he's telling her, like, what's up, like, what we ready to do. So she was like, okay. So, mind you, we drinking, we setting the mood, so we done got a little tipsy. So, it starts. He cuts off the lights. He's telling her, he's like, come here. She comes. So at this point, mind you, I'm watching this shit. I'm like, oh, he got this bitch under mind control. Like, you know what I'm saying? This is kind of like turning me on. Like, this is hot. Like, he's Mac dog. So he was like, hey, he was like, take off your clothes. So she starts stripping. So he's looking at me. I'm looking at him. I'm just like, okay. So he comes over, he's looking at me. He's looking at her. He was like, hey, go suck his dick. So she walks over to me, gets on her knees, sucking my dick. And he was like, you like that shit? And I'm just like, I guess. So I'm in the moment. So mind you, I'm tipsy. So all of my senses are heightened. So I'm like, okay. So he was like, shh, don't say nothing. So he starts kissing me, starts kissing all of my body. I'm just like, oh my gosh, like, this is amazing. So he was like, he's telling the girl, he was like, hey, bitch, lay back. So she was like, all right. She lays back. So he was like, come here, Mel, put your dick in her. I'm like, okay. So I'm put it in. So I'm like, here we go. He was like, yeah, you like it, don't you? And I'm like, it's all right. And so I'm doing my thing. So he's smiling. He's like, yeah. So he done pushed me over to the side. He was like, let me show you how to fuck this bitch. So he gets on top. He's banging her shit out. So he was like, come here, Mel, get behind me. So I gets behind him. We doing our thing. He's fucking her. I'm fucking him. This is some hot ass shit. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just like taking all of this shit in, and it's happening. So at this point, I get my nut, he gets his nut, she gets her nut. So we all tipsy, so we don't fall asleep or whatever the case be. So she wakes up super duper early, and she's like, I have to go. And I'm like, where the fuck is this bitch going? She was like, I live 45 minutes away. So I'm like, okay, like, whatever. So she leaves. So mind you, you know what I'm saying, we goes on, she's texting us, we don't exchange contact information. So we're in a group chat. So every time she texts, we're both getting the message. So she was like, y'all my new boyfriends, she's texting us good morning, like, what y'all doing? I'm trying to come hang with y'all. So every time she's like, she wants to motherfucking hang, he's jumping to motherfucking do whatever the fuck, wherever she's at. So I'm just like, all right, like, let's go. So she was like, she wanted to go out to all these parties. So we're going out to the club constantly. I'm like, I can't motherfucking keep up, but I'm keeping up because, I'm trying to, You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to get this shit together. So, mind you, at this time, you know, we done went to a party and she's like, you know what I'm saying, y'all place round two? So I was like, no, like, you know what I'm saying, I don't want to do it, like, you know what I'm saying, we done already had too much fun, you know what I'm saying, we don't need any more. So I'm making every fucking excuse as to why she can't come back. So he's beating around the bush. He was like, no, he's every motherfucking thing I say, he has a rebuttal to it, like, no, it ain't nothing. So he's telling her, like, yeah, you can come. Fuck. So I'm like, oh, fuck. I'm like, I don't want to fuck this bitch again. So I'm like, all right, you know, yeah, let's go to my house. So we go to my house. Mind you, we're not living together, but, you know, he used to live there, so he's familiar, like, with my crib. So she comes over. He was like, yeah, you know, this is our crib. This is how we living. So she's looking around. She's like, this is nice. This is nice. So we gets to the room. You know, we gets to it. So at this time, you know what I'm saying, he starts fucking her. You know what I'm saying? I done tagged in. So at this point, I done got the hang of it now. I'm in the groove. So I'm doing my thing. She's like, I like doing it up. So he's looking, you know, he was like, oh, this, okay, watch out. So he done got back in it and she's like, So he's like, So he was like, you know, get back on her. So I done fucked her again. She's like, so at this point, he's like, what the fuck? So in his mind, I noticed what he's thinking. So, cause he got up, he was like, you know, he was like, y'all can enjoy yourselves. So he done put on his robe and that's all he said and walked the fuck out. So I'm just like, I don't know what his motherfucking problem is. So we motherfucking finished and, you know, I get my nut, she gets her nut. So she leaves in a rush again. I'm like, I don't know where the fuck you're going. But anyways, bye. So I goes in there, I'm talking to him. I'm like, why'd you leave out? He was like, because like I'm fucking this bitch and she act like, you know, like what you was doing was better than what I was doing. I was like, I was like, it's not even that big. I was like, I didn't even want to fuck her. Like, it's not even that big of a deal. I mean, I ain't even tripping. Like, you can go fuck the bitch. I mean, I got plenty of bitches I can fuck. You know, I know what you know. I'm like, look, boy, it's not that motherfucking serious. Like, just chill out. Like, just go on, boy. So he's like, all right, so, you know, he done left, you know what I'm saying, went on and do whatever he's about to do. So I'm a little tipsy at this point because, man, I had to drink me some more Taylor Port to fuck this bitch. So, you know, I was like, let me put on my clothes and let me go to work. So I goes to work and let me tell you what happened when I go to work in part 20. Bitch, this is part 20! Yes, we made it. But go to the next part. So this is part 20 of why the fuck did I stay? So I done got to the store. So the girl, she ends up coming to the store. So she was like, hey, boyfriend, you know, I got to support you. Give me some stay ahead. So she done picked out her clothes. She spent like $200 with me. So, mind you, during this time, you know, days is going by. I have to come to the store every single day, open and close. 10 a.m., I don't get off till 9 a.m., so I'm there all day. So during the day, you know, I'm calling him, checking in, see what he's doing. Every time I call him, he's with this bitch. They're doing this, they're doing that. You know what I'm saying? They're at this place. They just got do this. So, just like y'all just doing it the fuck up at this point. So I'm just like, I guess must be nice. Y'all having so much motherfucking fun. So I gets off work one day or just in a couple days and I'm just like, you know, hey, like can we spend some time? Like you wanna come to the house, you wanna watch a movie? Like he was like, yeah, you know what I'm saying, I guess. So he comes over, you know what I'm saying, we cuddling, watching a movie. And I'm just like, you know what I'm saying, like, you wanna fuck? And he was just like, nah, I'm not in the mood. Like right now, my headspace is just focusing on trying to love you and get us back right. He was like, I'm not even thinking about sex. So I'm just like, okay, like I don't know what the fuck that means, but okay, cool. So speed it up, you know what I'm saying? He was like, he wanted to have a conversation with me. He was like, I just want to thank you for allowing me to do this. But he was just like, I just wanted to be fair, you know, for you, you know what I'm saying? So let you go fuck whoever you want to go fuck. And he was just like, you know what I'm saying? If you got somebody that you want to fuck, he was like, go fuck him. He was like, because me mentally, I'm just really not going to want to have sex for a while. He's like, I'm already sexed out and I'm kind of like out of commission right now. So he was like, if you want to go get your rocks off, you know, I'm giving you permission to go fuck whoever you want. So I'm just like, I mean, I guess. So I was like, well, I'm going to LA in a couple days, you know what I'm saying? And, you know, the dude that I'm going down there to do this photo shoot with, like, you know what I'm saying? He's attractive and, you know, he's attracted to me, but I've already told him that I got a nigga. So he was like, yeah, like, go handle it. Like, go enjoy yourself. So I was like, all right, cool. So I kind of like got the green light, but I'm just like, I guess at this point. So, you know, I get to LA, you know what I'm saying? I'm not even focusing on sex. I'm just trying to work, you know what I'm saying, and do what I got to do. So I'm trying to contact him and call him, you know. The conversations are real dry, real short. He's trying to rush me off the phone. So I was like, okay, like, let me focus on work at this point. So, mind you, I'm getting phone calls, like, people are just calling me. It was like, oh, you know, he's at the fair. You know, we don't have the fair. They was like, we're trying to, like, where are you at? They was like, he's here with some girl, like, you know, they're all together, like, hugged up, and they're just a little too friendly. And we're asking him, like, where are you at? He's telling us that you're out of town, but, you know what I'm saying, like, who's this girl? Everybody's calling me. I'm just like, oh, that's our friend. You know what I'm saying? It ain't nothing like that. You know what I'm saying? That, you know, we all cool. So I'm already getting like weird vibes. I'm like, fuck, like, bitch, like, don't get people in our motherfucking business. Like, bitch, you know I'm discreet. Like, don't be doing no dumbass shit while I'm out of town. So, you know, I'm calling him. I'm like, hey, I'm like, you know what I'm saying? Like what, like, can I get a clarification on like, what are we doing here? Because in my mind, I'm like, bitch, I already know what type of time you on. If I'm out of town and you with this bitch, like, I already know what type of time you on. So I'm like, what's the clarification? So he was like, honestly, I just feel like that you should focus on you and I should just focus on me. And I'm just like, well, what does that mean? I was like, I thought we were supposed to be trying to like work on us, like get us back together, like work on our relationship. And he was just like, nah, I just feel like that we just kind of like better off as friends. So I'm like, at this point, like my adrenaline's rushing because I'm like way in fucking LA. I'm like, what are you talking about? And he's like, it's pissing me off. He was like, basically like, be friends. So I'm just like, in my mind, I'm like, I know I'm not ready to lose this nigga to no fucking bitch. Like, I know I'm not ready to lose this nigga to no fucking bitch. Like, fuck the cheating. Like, this nigga ain't never left me for no bitch. Like, what the fuck? So I can't even motherfucking finish working. I'm ready to fucking go home. Like what the fuck of this motherfucking bitch? Are you serious? And I like everything we fucking been through, and I don't even let you have a threesome with this fucking bitch, and you doing this? Like, are you serious? I'm getting home. I'm like, okay, in my mind, I'm like, I can't be mad. I'm like, okay, let me like think, bitch, think, like, what the fuck can I do? So I'm like, okay. So I'm calling him. I'm like, hey, can we talk? Like, come see me. So he's coming to see me, and I'm like, here goes some money. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I like it just like at this point, I'm just trying to get you to stay. Like, you know what I'm saying? So here's some money. He was like, oh, okay, thank you. So he pulls off, and I'm like, look, like, can you just like come and like be with me? Like, I really want to talk about this. Like, what is going on? So he gets there, and I'm just like, I don't know. So I'm still explaining to him. I'm like, baby, like, can we can we work this out? Like, what is going on? He was like, bruh, I don't already told you. He was like, I don't want, like, I just want to be friends. I'm just like, it's not fucking registering in my mind. Like, what do you mean fucking friends? Like, bitch, we're working on us. Like, come on. So he's just telling me this, and I'm just like, look. At this point, I'm demanding sex. I'm like, no, I want motherfucking sex from you. I was like, I didn't even fucking go out of town and even fuck nobody. Like, I want you to fucking fuck me. Like, what the fuck? He's just like, no, like, I just don't want to. So at this point, I done kind of like calm down. We just sat there. I'm just like, please, like, can you please, like, please don't do this. So I'm begging. I'm like, please, like, can we please, like, please? He looked at me. I'm on my knees. This nigga looked at me and told me to my face, he was like, nigga, you desperate. He was like, and that's a turnoff. I wouldn't even fuck you. So I'm literally sitting here crying in his face. I'm like, please don't do this to me. Like, please, if it's over this bitch, like, please. So he's leaving. He's getting in the fucking car. I'm like, what the fuck? Do I gotta pay you to fuck me? Like, what the fuck? He was like, yeah. He was like, you give me $2,500. He was like, and I'll fuck you right now. So I'm like, all right. well, let's go. I got the money. You know I'm good for it. So he was like, nah, go get my money now. And I'm like, okay. I'm like, I don't have the type of money like laying around the fucking house. I was like, I would have to go to the ATM. So I pulled out 500. I'm like, here, this is yours. I was like, but I'm not gonna put it in your hand. I was like, it's right here, and I'll set it on the counter. And after we get done, I'll give you that and go to the ATM. So he was like, okay, cool. We gets in the bedroom. His whole motherfucking mood changed. Like he just went into character. So he was like, come on, like, yeah, fuck me. Like, let's do this. So he's like, oh, damn, I'm fucking him. He's like, oh, like, damn, I've been missing out on this shit. This shit's so fucking good. Like, all of this. So I'm like, okay, like, maybe we got hope. Like, we got hope. Soon after, he was like, okay, you got my money? I'm like, like, what? I'm like, come on, like, you really gonna fucking charge me? He was like, yes, bro. He's like, where's my fucking money? I'm like, I'm not giving you no money. He bloops the fuck out. Nigga, you fucking played me. I didn't even want to fucking fuck you. I only did this because you said you was going to fucking play me. You got me fucked up. You fucking weird. You fucking weird. I'm like, are you really fucking doing over this? Like I'm your fucking man. Like what the fuck are you even doing all of this for? You making me pay you for some fucking sex? Are you fucking serious? And I give you any motherfucking thing you want, and you're demanding motherfucking money for me to pay to fuck me? Are you out of the... I'm like, all right. So he's at this point, he done blooped the fuck out. So he done got in his car and skirted the fuck off. So at this point, I'm just like, what the fuck is going on? Like, I'm just like, I don't know. I don't fucking know. I don't know. So go to the next part.